Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for Kamen Rider Gavv episode 38 or 39, one of them. The title will be right like usual. So I'm experimenting yet again, like I said in Go Juju's review, with just sometimes doing audio-only reviews when I know it might be a little bit shorter. Because while this episode was overall pretty solid ultimately, it was kind of a part one leading us into this arc about Lakia getting his power-up. Because we kind of start off in this feeling I've been having in a lot of episodes in recent weeks where it feels like we're in filler territory, where we start this story about Shoma wanting to cheer up his uncle. Obviously it ties into larger things, but just the feel of it felt like an early 10, 20 episode that was like filler territory. And you have this story where he wants to cheer him up, and he's kind of getting sick because he was using his own teeth for the creations, and I knew that was leading somewhere. I didn't know whether ultimately he would be taken out or whether he would die of sickness or whatever, but we kind of addressed that a bit, and you have him and Sachika, I believe, trying to make a parfait, like getting ingredients for a parfait, and there's some nice little moments there, just some fun moments that kind of give you that feeling of the cast chemistry, which is nice. I think for me, most notably, the scenes between Sachika and Lakia, where he kind of is concerned about him as well, and also kind of laments that he didn't notice anything was wrong, kind of like with his brother. And those were nice little scenes that reminded me they did a good job of building up this dynamic. But you kind of have all that going on. I'm like, okay, I don't know where this is going. And you have stuff going on with the Stomach family a bit. You have a little bit of Jeeb being like, what the hell? You know, when a new evil writer debuts, they're supposed to at least half kick the butt of the new writer, or the main writer, excuse me. And he's wondering, like, why did I just get my ass handed to me first round out? So we're probably going to have them come back a little bit stronger. But then you have some stuff with Glotto sort of feeling left out and then finding out that the uncle's alive, which leads us to the best part of the episode when she confronts him and tries to recruit him yet again, just like someone else tried to recruit him. I can't remember who it was. It was another member of the family at one point. I can't remember whether it was Longo or... oh god, I can't remember the name of the sciencey one at the moment. Anyway, regardless, it happened before, and it seems like then she takes him out, and that's when you get the reveal of, yeah, for sure she was the one that took out Lakia's brother because of the slice wound. And it was interesting because obviously she's done some sort of irredeemable stuff here, killing the uncle and then killing the brother. But the moments where he's talking to her, the uncle's talking to her and saying like, oh, you know, you've always valued the family, now you feel you're left behind, was probably the most humanization I've seen a member of the Stomach family outside of Shoma get. With the exception, I guess, of course, Jeeb and their twins Bond. You know, that's obviously been kind of a thing. But overall, like I've said many times during these reviews, they've been the most irredeemable, like, human villains that we've, quote-unquote human, you know what I mean? Where usually you'd have these redeemable characters. And so I thought that was interesting. I don't necessarily think they're going to try to redeem her, but I thought it was interesting. This was the most we got, like, a window into a more human moment for one of the Stomach characters outside of the twins. I think it would have been interesting, actually, if we had this character maybe become redeemed, and then you find out she's the one that killed Lakia, but I don't think that's where they would go with this, but it just was interesting to me. And then you end the episode off with a fight against Lakia, actually some nice, like, civilian fight action, too, and it's obviously going to lead into next week with him getting his power-up, so it very much felt like a part one, but I thought it was pretty solid. Like, the episode overall, kind of like a few of the recent ones, was a little bit mixed, because the first half felt very fillery and further, and then the second half kind of really kicked into gear. Just the pacing of the last half of Gavv has been really strange. Not last half, but this last quarter. I'm really curious to see how everything's going to feel when we get to the end. It's still been enjoyable, but it just feels really weird that, like I've mentioned in past weeks, I know we're not in the finale arc like last 3-4 episodes, but I feel like usually around this time you feel this sense of urgency, and I feel like we keep getting to these little mini arc climaxes and then feeling like we're in filler territory. I know this isn't filler, but I don't know if you know what I mean. But regardless, I thought this was pretty solid. We moved some things along. It had a really solid second half and got me looking forward to next week with Lakia's power-up. But anyways, guys, let me know what you thought of the episode as always. Until next time, Dawson Rider, signing out.